Hello, this is probably either the first or second interlude that I've brought you guys. So, the Lord brought me to the scripture. I mentioned in the previous video that there was a scripture that I needed. Now, this may come up either, I may put this between it, either before or after, but this is the scripture I am talking about, okay? So, what ended up happening, I'm going to explain it like this, and then we're going to get to the scripture. So, your God ordained spouse has been in a storm. That's what this entire film is really about. He went through a storm, and he's been trying to investigate the broken pieces, okay, of what it was that happened in his life to have him end up getting here, if you have not figured that out. So with him having gone through this storm in the natural, but in that process, this entire film is about him learning to have faith in God, trust God, and go into the secret place. When he finally decided to go there, he meets you in the spirit. In this moment that I am talking about, Danny, when he's helping Doug's character, which is played by Denzel Washington, he talks to him about the fact that physics says that you can't change an event in time. You can only change how it happens, not the result. You will still repeat the same thing over. The definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. What is God trying to say here? Some of you and some of your God-ordained spouses were stuck in a series of cycles that kept repeating themselves over and over again. When Denzel Washington's character made the decision to do the jump into the past, I think it was like 12 hours or something like that. When he made that decision, it wasn't even that long. I think it was like, yeah, it was because he had to go to sleep, or he would sleep for a period of time. So when he made the decision, your God-ordained spouse had to wake up from that spiritual space, or wake up to the spiritual space. So when he did that, and he was willing to follow God's ordained instruction, he was having the faith to walk with God into a place that created an opening for a shift. He had to do something that he may not have had to do before, which was trust God fully, following him so that he could break the cycle of what was going on in his life. And in him coming to break the cycle, he was coming to your rescue. This breaks the cycle, but he had to choose to walk on the water. Remember, in the beginning of this review, I talked about Peter walking on water and the moment where Jesus was in the boat in the midst of the storm. Your husband had to choose to walk on the water with God in order for him to break the cycle. Because for him, this maneuver that he's preparing to do is an extreme risk on his part. But in order for you to see a shift in your life, and in order for him to see a shift in his life, he had to do something different to get a different result. You have heard the saying before that your biggest breakthrough is on the other side or just beyond your comfort zone. he has to make a decision to step out beyond his comfort zone. I have been in prayer for my God ordained spouse that for over the scripture that Paul had a thorn in his side, and he prayed thrice for it to be removed, but God said, I prayed for you. God prayed for you. God prayed for him that he was not going to remove the thorn, meaning whatever calamity your God ordained spouse was in, he wasn't going to remove it. But he was going to pray that he had the faith to withstand the trial. And I believe that's what the Lord must have been talking about when he kept showing me Jeremiah 11:14. There are certain things that maybe you have been praying about for your God ordained spouse to come out of, and God wasn't going to remove it until the judgment was done for whatever thing that he did against God. But it is going to take a faith move on your God ordained spouse's part for that thing to be broken. So your God ordained spouse is very nervous about the leap in which he's going to have to take. But the calamity has come for the discomfort necessary to get him to shift, because he must cross over. So the scripture I was talking about, that the moment that Doug decided to get into the time machine, or the machine that was going to take him back that few hours in order to make sure that the bombing never occurred, was Matthew 10, starting at verse 9. I was telling you guys that there were certain things that your God ordained spouse could not take with him. Now, not clothes, not what have you, all of that kind of stuff. In order for your God ordained spouse to take this leap, he can take none of the things, meaning no ideologies, no mindsets, no emotional issues or baggage, no physical issues, no spiritual beliefs that were not of God, and none of the social associations that he was associated to prior to that. In this scripture, it talks about these things that he could not take with him. Remember, Doug could not bring his gun. Deja Vu, this character, could not bring his gun. He could not bring the things that were his safety nets. So in Matthew 10, it talks about provide neither gold nor silver or brass in your purses, meaning you can't bring no money, nor scrips for your journey, 2 coats, neither shoes nor yet staves, for the workman is worthy of his meat. And into whatsoever city or town ye shall enter, because remember I told you that there was a place or location, because I think I looked up the number. It was a number. I think it was 1050. 1050 means a street, place, or location. So with that being said, whatsoever city or town you shall enter, meaning the place that he lands, meaning the place that he is meant to come to. And for some of you, that is him coming into your city to meet you. Inquire who in it is worthy, and there abide till ye go thrice. There is an entry that this man must make in order to come and make the transition for you to get to where you need to go. He is to come in, and wherever he's meant to stay, and then if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it, but if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you. So there are certain instructions that he has in order for him to come in. And I'm sensing that it's like he's supposed to come in, retrieve you, and go out. He's not supposed to stay. Because I've seen this happen to somebody that I know, that they were supposed to come into a town, drop off the people, the place, whatever it was they were supposed to drop off, and they could not stay even though they were tired. The Lord said, pick up your stuff, dust your feet off, and keep going. Your spouse, when he comes to get you, it's going to be like that. He got to come directly to get you, and he's got to go. Meaning, he's not meant to stay there. He's only meant to come get you. Period. And y'all supposed to leave. So, and whatsoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. So, that's what the Lord wanted me to read. I think I've uncovered everything. So, that is all for that. And now, recommence the rest of the Deja Vu review. Bye-bye.